I guess it'd be brunch, but our brunch bout. So let's do some rosters. First off, the St. Louis Gatekeepers, 0260 Spin Diesel, 12 Shred a Stare, 1337 Beastie, 14 Loki Doki, 15 Bolt Action, 1691 Jamie Pacquiao, 18 Slaytoven, 1990 Yoshi Denali, 23 Scarly Davidson, 297 Maneki, 3 Thighs, 30 Trauma, 32 Sheesh, 39 Evie, 4 Soul, 5 Lethal Objection, 55 Static Shock, and 567 Splatter, 708 Badger the Witness, 787 Adam Midwest. Gatekeepers are coached by Chops.
And introducing your Race City Rebels, the Rebels starting off number 116, Ursa Mamer, number 12, Razor, 123 is Diamond, 17, Shaggy, 18, Flipper, 205, Ricky Bobby, 22, It's a Trap, 31, Floppy Joe, 33, KID, 34, Grimace, 55, Blint, 57, Rowdy, 687, LC Hammer, 70, Doc Flatliner, 73, Lynn, 77, Roller Coaster, 81, Steph, 813, True Blocker, 823, Stretch Harmstrong, and 84, Wham Bam.
All right, starting off on the Derby Beast Jam line, that's going to be Shred a Stare for the Gatekeepers, and for Race City, that is Blint. So Shred a Stare is out first. However, he does not get past all 4, so he will not be lead jammer. So lead jammer still open for Blint.
Shred with one blocking the pass, breaks up, picks up the 4. Still no lead jammer yet. 30 seconds into our first jam.
Blint, a former Gatekeeper skater, now skating with Race City.
Shred being brought back to that Derby Beast jammer line on that inside checkout, working on a second pass. Blint still working an initial pass. And there's Shred on the inside, turn 1, picking up a second scoring pass. Blint checked down the inside, brought back to the inside of turn 4. And Shred on his third pass.
Blint has taken off the jammer cover, so this will be a 2-minute jam.
40 seconds left on jam time for that. Shred with a couple to get past up front. Bridging them out to turn 2 and breaks away in the far straightaway, 4 points. 4x4 for Shred a Stare and the Gatekeepers to start off jam 1. Final 15 on the jam time. And it looks like Race City's going to lose Grimace to a forearms as jam time ends.
So full 2-minute jam, no lead jammer ever established. 20 points on the board for the Gatekeepers. Loki Doki now on the Derby Beast jammer line for the Gatekeepers. Looks like Razor out there for Race City.
Loki cuts to the outside, comes away first out of turn 1, lead jammer. And Loki hits the pack already. Razor still working that initial pass. And Loki picking up 4. And Race City losing Rowdy to a directional out of turn 2. Loki on a second scoring pass now. Or excuse me, a third. Loki's fourth pass, picking up points and calling it off with the Razor on a scoring pass. Going to be a 3-point pass, total 15-0 that jam.
Jamie Pacquiao now on the Derby Beast jammer line for the Gatekeepers.
I think I saw Floppy Joe for Race City.
Floppy Joe. What a great name.
Actually, I think it's a trap maybe.
No, I think that is Floppy Joe.
Okay. I got to get my eyes checked. New glasses. We need an eye sponsor, scoreboard sponsor.
Floppy Joe picks up lead jammer Race City.
Floppy Joe picking up 2-0. And we had a forearms being called there. Didn't see who it was on.
That was Grimace headed to the CVM penalty box. So Trauma now on the Derby Beast jammer line for the Gatekeepers. That's Blint out there again for Race City. Trek cut the call on Trauma, so we're going to have our first power jam here for Race City.
And Blint with the jump on the inside lane, coming away lead jammer.
It's not too often you see somebody jump the straightaway.
No. I can safely assure you will never see me jump the straightaway.
Power jam comes to an end as Trauma re-enters play.
Blint breaks out, picks up those 4 points. Race City is on the board. Or excuse me, adding to the board, rather. Second pass for Blint. Blint starting the third pass with Loki rolling up on a scoring pass, going to call it off. 3 points, total of 11 for Race City that jam, with their 2 previous taking them to 13.
Static Shock now out there on the Derby Beast jammer line for the Gatekeepers. And for Race City, I think it's Ricky. It's a trap. And Static Shock, your lead jammer. The first GK penalty goes to Yoshi as he takes a seat in the CVM penalty box. Sorry, should say first blocker penalty. Trauma with the jammer penalty earlier. So 1 point there on that jam for the Gatekeepers. Shred a stare out there for the Gatekeepers. Razor for the Race City Rebels, and Razor's going to be your lead jammer, Race City.
Two points for Race City. That's nice to see chat's awake.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Floppy Joe out there for Race City. Going to be going up against Loki Doki for the Gatekeepers.
Loki up first. And Floppy drove back to turn 4. Loki Doki now on a scoring pass. Floppy Joe breaks out on an inside lane runaway. And Loki Doki getting smothered at turn 1. I'm going to go ahead and call it off with Floppy Joe rolling up 3-0 jam.
Blint takes the line again for Race City, going up against Jammy Pacquiao for the Gatekeepers.
Jamie goes for a jump off of turn 1. Gets recycled behind the pack. Tries to take the inside lane at turn 1. Gets checked out in the inside as well. Went checked down the inside, brought back to turn 4. Jamie gets out on the outside of turn 1, coming away lead.
A hard-fought lead jammer there.
Getting low and getting through, picking up 4. It looks like Star passed off to Diamond, making that initial. Here comes Jammy getting low on the outside. I'm going to call it.
Penalties assessed there at the end of that jam. Looks like Shaggy sitting in the CVM penalty box for Race City, so Gatekeepers will be up 4-3 in the pack to start this next jam.
3 finals signaled for Jammy on that last jam, total of 7 for Gatekeepers.
Trauma on the line now for the Gatekeepers, going up against, trying to make out who that is. It's a trap back out there for Race City.
And Trauma out first, lead jammer.
Forearm call on Kid.
Pack's still at the Derby Beast jam line at the moment. As Trauma rolls around on the scoring pass. Keeping the toe stops moving, pushes past, and picks up the 4. Gatekeepers loses one of their blockers, and Trauma finds an outside lane, picking up another 4. It's a trap, check down the far side, being brought back to turn 2. And Gatekeepers losing on our blockers, 1 returns. 4-on-3 advantage in the pack for Race City as they're bridging out. And Jammy gets out, or excuse me, Trauma gets out, picking up 4 more.
12 points so far on this jam. Yoshi now going to take a seat in the penalty box. And Adam Midwest as well. So GK's down to 1 blocker currently as Adam reports to the penalty box. And Trauma going to call that one off as this a trap starts to approach the back of the pack. So a 12, actually looks like it's going to be a 15-point jam. 16, actually. Fifteen-point jam there for Trauma. Static Shock now out there for the Gatekeepers, going up against Razor for Race City. GK's down 2 blockers.
Race City losing number 12 for forearms there. Razor.
So now we got a power jam here as Razor picks up a forearm. Static Shock, your lead jammer.
Evie trying to clear a path for Static to get through, and Race City is stretched out. The pack's at the back, it looks like. Race City's losing Diamond. Headed over the CVM Sports penalty box. Static gets low, turns, takes the check, shrugs it off, and picks up 4.
Power Jam comes to an end as Razor re-enters the pack.
Razor breaks out in that initial, and then Static's going to go ahead and call it off.
Smart play there. Static takes a look at the penalty box and at the bench and then calls that jam off. 1 blocker in the box for Race City. 4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of the Gatekeepers as Shred Astaire takes the Derby Beast jammer line for the Gatekeepers. I think we're going to see a timeout here. Yep, there it is. A Toy Division timeout taken by the Race City Rebels.
The Toy Division is an inclusive store and community for anyone who loves toys, video games, collectibles, and everything in between. Make sure you follow Toy Division on Instagram to find out about their next show appearance. Find the link on the iHod Linktree, linktree/IHOD.
So the score right now, 69-15 in favor of the Gatekeepers. 15:31 to go here in the first half of Game 1 of Day 3 of the 2025 edition of iHod. It's been a great weekend so far. We had some wonderful games on our first day as the Chicago Brews Brothers defeated the Beekeepers in Game 1, 185-179. Game 2, Race City knocked off Y'all Hollow 192-122. And then Game 3, the Gatekeepers beat the Carolina Wrecking Balls 337-123. So busy day 1. Day 2, we had 5 games. We'll get to those here in a little bit as game play is about to resume. Shred Astaire out there for the Gatekeepers. Floppy Cho for Race City.
Roller coaster headed to the CVM penalty box. No pack call and making an illegal contact there. Shred breaks out, scoring pass, picking up 4.
Thank you.
And Shred's second pass, another 4. Race City comes back to help out Roller Coaster. Shred with 1 block against pass, breaks out, 4 more. And Roller Coaster really still going after that initial pass. Race City coming back to help, and we got a track cut here. Now Shred going to be on a power jam. Roller Coaster getting caught on the track cut, headed over that CVM Sports penalty box. And Shred calls it off with that 3rd scoring pass, and now Gatekeepers, or 4th scoring pass, and Gatekeepers will start off on a power jam, power start.
It's going to be interesting to watch some of the strategy of the Gatekeepers today because I noticed that Annie Swanson's running the bench for the Gatekeepers. Saint, one of the coaches for Arch Rival, who likes to run jams long on a pretty regular basis. So it'll be interesting to see if Annie takes on the same strategy here as this game goes on. But Loki right now out there jamming for the Gatekeepers on the power jam.
Well, I guess I need to correct myself. The penalty last jam was on KID as they're jamming, starting off in the box. Loki Doki in that scoring pass now.
Beastie taking a seat in the penalty box. So the power jam comes to an end.
Splatter taking the ref lane to the CVM Sports penalty box.
Loki playing a little bit of defense, trying to kill some time to get Beastie out of the box.
We got some jammer and jammer offense right now.
Now Bolt and Scarley trying to race up to the front of the pack to take control. And look at that. Loki doing a nice job. Killed that penalty, killed both of those penalties, both Beastie and Splatter.
I'd say Loki was lucky right there.
What's that?
I'd say Loki was lucky right there.
Yeah, a little late on the call off. Jamie Pacquiao now out there skating, jamming for the Gatekeepers, and Jamie Pacquiao is going to be your lead jammer. Blint out there for Race City.
Pack has not moved off the jam line yet. Jamie finds an inside lane, gets low, and sneaks through with the 4. Jamie through again, untouched. I think Race City's so focused on trying to help their jammer out right now. And that's Rowdy Pivot putting on the star right now.
Most of the GK jammers have such good lateral movement that you've just got to clog up every single lane or they're going to find a spot.
Mm-hmm.
And a quick 12-point strike there for Jamie Pacquiao. Now on the Derby Beast jammer line, it's going to be Trauma. And I think that might be Floppy Joe out there. Yes, it is. Floppy Joe out there for Race City.
Trauma straight up the outside lane, lead jammer. I think we got a directional on one of our gatekeepers here. Floppy Joe is out. Trauma at the front, breaks out. Picks up 4. Floppy Joe working the scoring pass the outside lane. Splatter going for a hip check. And Race City picking up 4. Trauma giving a little as she hits the pack. Picks up the 4 breaking out. And Floppy Joe right on her heels. 4 apiece. Couple whistles. We're losing a Race City blocker. Trauma out, picking up 4.
And just as expected, we're now seeing the Gatekeepers starting to run these jams a little long here. Race City with 8 points so far. Looks like they're going to get another 4 there at the end. So it's going to be a 12-12 jam, it appears. But a lot of time came off the clock as that jam went over a minute and a half. So Static Shock out there now for the Gatekeepers. And it's a trap jamming for the Race City Rebels, but picks up a track cut right off the bat. So now a power jam here for the Gatekeepers. Static Shock is just going to keep taking that outside line. Static Shock finally picks up lead jammer. It was a hard-earned one for sure. Race City down 2 blockers. Sorry, 1 blocker, 1 jammer. Power jam comes to an end as It's a Trap re-enters play.
And Gatekeepers losing a block or two, a multiplayer block there.
Got a star pass to Steph. Static Shock taking as much time off of that Badger penalty. Badger sitting in the penalty box, in the CVM penalty box for the Gatekeepers. Waited to the last second to call that jam off. 3 points there for the Gatekeepers. And it's going to be Razor out there for Race City going up against Shred Astaire for the Gatekeepers.
The Gatekeepers losing Evie, taking that roughly into CVM Sports now 4-3 advantage in the pack for Race City. Razor, your lead jammer, hitting the pack now on a scoring pass.
Ooh, now we got a power jam here as Razor picks up a forearm call trying to work around the outside there.
So we'll now have a 2-minute jam.
So Shred Astaire out, but not lead jammer. So this jam will go full 2 minutes. Just about a minute off this jam clock already.
Evie rejoins Gatekeepers defense. We're back to full strength in the pack. And Razor's penalty time over as now rejoined the pack on a scoring pass. Checked out of turn 3 and brought back to turn 2. Here comes Shred on the scoring pass, picking up 4. Razor finds an inside lane of turn 4 and comes away with 4. Pack comes around the near straightaway as time ends.
So I think it's going to be a 5-7 jam in favor of Race City there. So some strong defense by the Race City Rebels. Giving up the power jam, but still coming out ahead on that jam.
And with that 2-minute jam, that takes us past the 4-minute mark.
Blint out there now for Race City on the Derby Beast jammer line. Loki Doki out there for the Gatekeepers.
Full strength in the plaque, and here comes Blintz up the inside lane, coming away lead jammer. Loki gets tripped up in the middle of the pack. And I'm going to get it caught on a low block as they got tripped up.
Yeah, that was just one of those unfortunate penalties that you really have no control over. Loki went down in the middle of the pack, and a Race City skater tripped over her.
Blint breaks through, picking up 4 in the inside lane. Back holding at the top sports pivot line as Blint breaks through. Pack starts turning ahead to the far straightaway now. Loki's time is ended. That'll be Loki's initial pass. And Blint breaks through, pick up the 4 with Loki on the scoring pass.
So 12-0 jam there for Race City. Brings our score to 125-46 in favor of the Gatekeepers. It's going to be Jammy Pacquiao out there now for the Gatekeepers, going up against, I believe that's Floppy Joe for Race City.
Pack rolls back to the jam line to start the jam. And Jammy out quick. Lead jammer. Gatekeepers losing Beastie to the box. Jammy's through, picking up 4. Floppy rolling up on the pack. Floppy finds an inside lane. Jammy goes for the outside of turn 3, calling it off as they go down. 3 final points signaled for the Gatekeepers.
Razor on the line now for the Race City Rebels. Trauma out there for the Gatekeepers. 4-on-3 pack advantage for Race City as Beastie sits in the penalty box right now for the Gatekeepers.
Lots of positioning as we roll up to the pivot line. Trauma working an inside of turn 1 right now. Trying to break through, gets pushed through.
So Trauma is out first, but did not secure lead jammer.
Trauma picking up 4. And Razor's still working an initial pass. Razor checked out, going to be brought back all the way to the pivot line.
Oh, and a track cut call on Trauma, so now a power jam for Race City. Razor still trying to complete the initial pass. The GK defense is really stepping up here.
Razor checked back to the pivot line. Star passed off. Now Rowdy jamming for Race City.
So we got a star pass, but I guess it wasn't a legal star pass because it was handed back.
Four final points signaled for Gatekeepers. Yeah, I can imagine our referee's going to get together to talk about this one for a second.
So I think that's going to do it for the half. Your current score, 140 Gatekeepers, 50 Race City. And that is going to be it. That's going to take us to intermission. So we're going to have an intermission, and then we'll be back with second half action, Game 1, Day 3, iHod 2025. Here's and our ref crews here this weekend that'll make an event of this size and length possible. As we take a look at the Luther Corp scoreboard, the score Gatekeepers 140, Race City Rebels 50. And it looks like to start this one off, it's going to be Shred Astaire out there on the Derby Beast jammer line going up against That's Floppy Joe out there for Race City. Yoshi sitting in the penalty box for the Gatekeepers, so a 4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of Race City to start the second half.
Shred look for the inside of turn one. Checked down. Going to be brought back almost to the jam line. Floppy checked out, brought back as well. Here comes Shred to the outside of turn one. Lead jammer for GK. And Floppy able to find an outside lane, breaking through that pack. Evie getting caught on the directional. So Gatekeepers will lose a blocker. Shred picks up 4 and calls it off a 4-0 jam to start off our second half. I think I see Diamond. Oh, no, excuse me. That's not a star. That's just a silver helmet.
So we got an official timeout, looks like.
Maybe an unofficial timeout at the moment. Our NSO say an official timeout.
I think there might be a bit of an injury situation with Evie as our paramedics, our medical staff are taking a look. So Splatter will take their seat in the penalty box in Evie's absence while they think Evie might be bleeding a little bit. They can't have somebody bleeding on the track, so they're going to patch that up. Now Splatter has been replaced in the penalty box by Adam Midwest. Playing some musical chairs right now in the CVM penalty box.
You get a seat, and you get a seat.
Yeah.
You get a penalty.
Yeah. Oprah over there handing penalties out.
Pack starts the pivot line, rolls back as the 5-second warning is called on the jam line now.
I got to appreciate the YouTube chat busting out the Predator references, saying that Evie ain't got time to bleed. Always appreciate a good Predator reference.
Shaggy's your lead jammer, and Loki's out on the initial pass. Razor gets caught on a penalty. So Razor told to return to the track now.
Yeah, some confusion there. A penalty was actually, a forearm call was called on 1-2-3. The problem is Razor is 1-2, and all they heard was the 1-2. So they're like, am I going off? No. Their ref is waving him. Now Razor is going off for a track cut. So now a full penalty box for the Race City Rebels.
And a 2-minute jam.
Yeah, and a 2-minute jam. That's right. Razor was the lead jammer. Loki cares not for 2-minute jams. This will not be a problem at all for Loki Doki.
Loki checked out of turn one, going to be brought back to the near straightaway. Oh, to the jam line now. Always got to watch those sneaky blockers going back further. Loki with one to get past at turn two. Breaks out, picking up 4. Penalty box cleared out now. Everybody back on the track. Razor works the outside lane. One blocker to get past. Transitions around. Picking up 4. Gatekeepers go back to hold back Loki. Race City's Diamond to hold Loki back as long as they can. Loki toe stops on the outside lane. Razor goes to work against Gatekeepers 4 wall as time runs out. 2 final points signaled for Race City. That'll put them up to 6 for this jam, and Low Key coming away with 20 for the Gatekeepers. Just under 27 to go in the second half. Blint on the jam line for Race City. Jammy for Gatekeepers. Pack rolls back to start the jam, and Manny out first. Lead jammer for the Gatekeepers.
I have noticed that Jammy has removed the bow tie today and has today replaced it with a nice green bandana.
And Gatekeepers defense just holding the wall back at turn 4, allowing Manny to just keep running and picking up points. Blint
now
in the
a power
box.
jam as Blint takes a seat in the CVM penalty box. So Jammy now going to work. Oh, but now a track cut call on Jammy Pacquiao. So we're going to swap jammers. So a short power jam here for Blint.
Finds an inside lane. Toe stop hops through, making an initial pass. Gatekeepers losing the blocker. Manny up front gets past. Picking up 4. Last 30 seconds of jam 3. Blint picking up another 4 as well for Race City. And I check out on Jammy. That's going to be forearms on the Rebels blocker. Blint through, picking up 4. Jammy through, picking up 4. Blint through, picking up another. And Jammy get called on a low block there as the jam ends. Net score for that jam, 18 for the Gatekeepers, 12 for the Rebels for that 2-minute jam. Rebels will have a power start.
Yep, Floppy Joe out there on the Derby Beast jammer line. Race City down 1 blocker, 4-on-3 pack advantage for Gatekeepers.
And less common, pack lining up on the Top Sports pivot line to start. Gatekeepers losing a blocker to forearms. So power jam still underway and a 4-3 advantage in the pack for Rebels. Floppy Joe's first scoring pass.
Power jam comes to an end as Jammy re-enters play. Meanwhile, Floppy Joe putting up some points. 4 more there, 8 so far this jam for Race City.
And Rebels losing a blocker now.
Rowdy taking a seat for Race City for a multiplayer block. So that jam comes to an end, a 12-0 jam there in favor of Race City. Trauma now out there on the Derby Beast jammer line for the Gatekeepers. So
Official timeout. Not an unofficial timeout, but an official timeout.
That's right. A toy division official timeout.
Of course, we all know Toy Division has those vintage toys, collectibles, and everything like that. They're all over social media. They're an inclusive store and community for anyone who loves toys, video games, collectibles, and everything in between. You can always find their link on the iHod link tree, linktree/IHODRE. Make sure to check out their Instagram to find out their next show appearances.
So yesterday we had 5 great games. In Game 1, Austin Anarchy victorious over Toronto Mixed Roller Derby 280 to 188. In Game 2, the Race City Rebels defeated the Carolina Wrecking Balls 235 to 120. Game 3, Toronto downed the Beekeepers 278 to 236. And in Game 4, Chicago defeats Austin 171 to 129. And then our nightcap, Game 5, the Gatekeepers beat Yalhalla 314 to 99. So that's your Day 2 rundown. Again, Day 3 here, Game 1, 2025 iHod. So we're going to get back to action here in just a moment. GK's up in the pack, 4-on-3. It's going to be Trauma on the line. I believe it's a trap. That is, it's a trap out there for Race City.
Trauma pushing up the middle. One blocker to get past. Out of play. Got to let Trauma go.
Got a star pass by Race City. That's 77 Roller Keister.
Trauma check back on the outside of turn 1. And pack on the start of the far straightaway. Trauma finds an outside lane.
Roller Keister has also completed the initial pass. Trauma going to call that jam off before Roller Keister can put any points on the board for Race City. 1 point there for Trauma.
Total of 5, that jam.
Back in action here, and it is Razor's going to be your lead jammer for the Gatekeepers. Static Shock out there for the Gatekeepers. Sorry, Race City Razor is your lead jammer.
Diamond out of play, got to let Static go. Rebels go back to help to get their jammer through and going to call it off with Static rolling up on a scoring pass. Rebels picking up 2 and calling it off. 20 and a half on the game clock. I had to look and see how many games we had today. I actually didn't know.
Yeah, got 4 today. 3 more games, yeah.
First game of 4.
Yeah. So back in action here, and it's, I think that's Shred Astaire out there for the Gatekeepers.
Blint
for the Race City Rebels.
Blint's one of the easiest for me to tell with that mane in the back.
Shred Astaire's your lead jammer.
And
Scarley and Evie sit in the penalty box right now.
Blint out, putting that star back on as Shred gets through, picking up 4 on the outside. Blint cuts to the outside, untouched. BC going to get a destruction of pack there. Now it's just Splatter solo blocking for the Gatekeepers. And now Evie joining Splatter up front. Race City's full strength. Blint on the inside, picking up another 4 points. Shred finds an outside lane, picking up another 4 for the Gatekeepers.
Yeah, as the second half goes on, you can bet that the Gatekeepers are going to run more of these jams long. Just
Absolutely.
to bleed time.
Right now with a 12-12 jam. 30 seconds left. And with 1 point, Gatekeepers going to cross the double century mark. Blint goes for the inside lane, picking up a final 4 as the jam gets called. And it looks like the Rebels coming away with a 2-point advantage. That one, 16-14.
So Loki Doki on the Derby Beast jammer line now for the Gatekeepers. For Race City, that is Floppy Joe.
Loki cuts the inside, comes away in the inside lane, lead jammer. Looks like Floppy Joe being brought back, checked out, and brought back to turn 3. Loki back in the pack on a scoring pass. Rebels are stretched out. Tripod up front, Loki's working against. Floppy Joe being brought back to behind turn 4 again. Gatekeepers controlling the back of the pack. Rebels controlling the front. Rebels lose Diamond, and now an assist for Loki to get through. One blocker to check off, shrug it off. Gets through, picks up the 4. Loki cuts the outside, takes a shoulder hit, checked out, going to be brought back the straightaway. Floppy Joe brought behind the jammer line. And 4 more for Loki. Rebels lose another blocker. Wham bam. Gonna be hanging out with Diamond for a moment. And Floppy breaks out, I believe, initial pass. Loki on another scoring pass here. 4 more. I'm gonna call it off. Down to 16.5 on game clock. 12-0 jam for Loki and the Gatekeepers. It's a trap, jamming for the Rebels. Jammy Pacquiao for the Gatekeepers. Rebels controlling the front of the pack, and Jammy finds an inside lane, break it away, lead jammer. Pack sets up, trying to find their position, holding up between turn 1 and 2. Jammy hits it, starts calling it off, getting those hips pass. 1 for the Rebels. And our inside jam ref's going to give us a clarification on the Gatekeepers' points. Looks like 3 for the Gatekeepers. Jammy picking up 3 for the Gatekeepers. 3-1.
So next up on the Derby Beast jammer line, that is Trauma for the Gatekeepers, Razor for Race City.
Penalty box is clear, and we're back to full strength of the pack. Rolling around to the far straightaway. Razor checked out of turn 2. Coming in behind the blocker. Trauma checked out, going to be brought back to turn 2. .30 seconds jam time down, and now we got our lead jammer. Trauma's going to be your lead jammer for jam number 10. Rebels now up a blocker in the pack. The Razor brought back to turn 3, and Trauma breaks out, picking up 4. Star passed off to True Blocka for the Rebels. And True Blocker finds an inside lane, picking up 4 at the last whistle. That'll take the Rebels past the century mark, now 103. Gatekeepers at 222 with their 6 points that jam. 13:33 in the clock.
Static shock out there for the Gatekeepers. It's Blint for Race City.
And static out first, going to be lead jammer. The Blint checked out, brought back to behind the jam line. Static on a scoring pass, picking up 4. Splatter goes to play some O to help it get Static through. And it looks like picks up a penalty in that action. Star passed off for the Rebels. Rowdy now going to be putting on the Star, starting his pivot. And Static getting caught on the track cut here. Rowdy going to have a power jam. Checked out the inside of turn 1, brought back to the jam line. Checked out again, going to be brought back now to turn 4. Splatter's penalty time's over. Gatekeepers back to full strength in the pack. Nice penalty kill by the defense of the Gatekeepers here. Static has now returned to the track. Power jam has ended. Rebels go back up a blocker in the pack. And Static breaks on the outside right as jam time ends. 4 points. And Rowdy picking up 3 for the Rebels.
So 11:06 to go here in the second half. The Gatekeepers up 234 to 106 over Race City, and it's going to be Shred a Stare on the jammer line now for the Gatekeepers. And for Race City, that looks like a new jammer. That's Shaggy out there jamming for Race City now. And Shaggy's going to be your lead jammer here at Race City.
And Diamond just giving it to Shred a Stare, and Shred picking up a forearms on that. Rebels on the power jam. Shaggy can pick up some points. Finds an inside lane, picks up 4. Pack going backwards. One of the Rebel blockers up at the front, forming the pack with the Gatekeepers defense, smothering Shaggy on the pivot line.
Power jam comes to an end as Shred a Stare re-enters play.
Gets in the pack and blocking us out of play. Got to let Shred go. Looks like Rowdy picking up 3 more and none signaled for the Gatekeepers on that pass. So a total of 7 for the Rebels. 9.5 to go. Jam 13 underway. We got Razor for the Rebels, Loki Doki for the Gatekeepers. The whole pack taking the outside of turn one, and here comes Loki Doki out first, lead jammer.
Ooh, and a power jam now as Razor picks up a forearm call. So Loki Doki, your lead jammer, and on the power jam. Both teams at full strength in the pack.
Pack's at the back. Loki Doki breaks out.
Yep, Gatekeepers have a blocker locked up in the back, so they're slowing the pack down, giving Loki more time to work.
Gatekeepers take notice that Razor's standing up in the box. Now time released. Loki Doki finds an outside lane, gets away with 4. Second scoring pass. Razor still working that initial. Star passed off. That's going to be roller coaster.
Yep, Roller Keister now your jammer for Race City. Loki Doki looking to the bench as they come around turns 3 and 4, and Annie Swanson saying, run this jam long.
Last 10 for this jam. Long 2-minute jam with a 15-0 point spread for the Gatekeepers. With Jammy lining up on the jam line. I think I see Floppy Joe.
That might be It's a Trap. Jamie Pacquiao out there for the Gatekeepers. Yep, It's a Trap out there for Race City.
Pack stalled at the Top Sports pivot line right now. Jamie Pacquiao looking to get out, but gets checked out. Going to recycle behind. We're full strength in the pack right now. And we're going to have a 2-minute jam here. Jamie Pacquiao head of the box. Rebels with a power jam. It's a trap. Checked out, brought back to turn 4.
Gatekeepers going to work, killing that penalty. Stretching that track all the way out. So we got a star pass to, that's Trublaka now, is your jammer for Race City. Meanwhile, the penalty comes to an end on Jamie Pacquiao. Power jam is over.
It looks like the Rebels were able to pick up 2 before handing that star off. Jamie picking up 4 there on that pass. Jamie being brought back to turn 4 now. Pack stalled at about the jam line as jam time ends. Four and a half to go on the clock. Game time. Looks like Gatekeepers coming away with 6 that jam, 5 for the Rebels.
4:15 to go here in the second half. Your score, 255 Gatekeepers, Race City 122. And now we're going to have an official review by the Gatekeepers.
Our official review is brought to you by Urban Apothecary. Skater-made wellness products from Urban Apothecary like gummies for focus, rest, and sleep, topical pain relievers, and bath soaks at the massage booth all weekend or online at urbanapothecary.shop. Get your pre- and post-game care for your body needs. You'll find a link for Urban Apothecary on the linktree /IHOD.
All right, so the official review is looking for a jammer penalty for a forearm. The officials did not feel there was enough impact to merit a call, so the official review is overturned. Gatekeepers will lose their official review. So back in action, it's trauma out there for the Gatekeepers on the Derby Beach jammer line. And Floppy Joe is going to be your lead jammer for the Race City Rebels. Meanwhile, a star pass to Bolt Action. I believe that's the first star pass we've seen here by the Gatekeepers today. And now it's going to be a power jam for Bolt Action.
Trauma catching them on a track cut there.
Yep, a track cut the call on. Bolt Action mostly known for their blocking, but they are quite an effective jammer when the need arises. Probably not super thrilled to be jamming at this late stage of the game, however. So the power jam comes to an end as Floppy Joe re-enters play.
Gatekeepers do down a blocker. Rebels with a blocker advantage. Floppy Joe with one scoring pass. Now second. And Bolt working on their fifth. Rebels controlling the front of the pack. Splatter coming in to give an assist. Here comes Trauma to help as well, and jam ends. Four final points. Total of 25 scoring passes for Bolt Action. Rebels coming away with 10. .145 on game clock. Penalty box is cleared out. And the pack's lined up on the jam line.
Static shock out there for the Gatekeepers. Quickly secures lead jammer. Blint being forced back by Spin Diesel into turns 3 and 4.
Static check down the inside. Going to be brought back to turn 3. Pack hasn't moved off the jam line yet. Static breaking out, picking up 4 for the Gatekeepers. First scoring pass. Blint still working an initial or star pass now to the pivot. And the Rebels are working that initial pass. Wham Bam jamming for the Rebels now. Blint goes for a hard hip check. Static's able to dodge it and pick up 4 more on the outside of turn 1. Static with 1 to get past, gets checked out, going to recycle. Hard check by Blint there on a Gatekeepers defender. But Static breaks out, picking up a 3rd, 4th. And Wham Bam makes that initial pass for the Rebels.
Yep, looking like this is going to be the last jam of the game here.
True Blocker coming back to give a little assist to Wham Bam, trying to get him through. Static with his fourth scoring pass, now starting a fifth. We ticked it down to the last 2 seconds on jam time.
So 3 points on that last pass for Race City. Let's see here how many Gatekeepers got. Looks like 16 total. Just waiting on that official score. Unofficial score right now, 291-135 GKs. And that is now your official score. The Gatekeepers are victorious, 291 over Race City with 135. So the Gatekeepers finished the weekend 3-0, Race City 2-1. So a nice weekend for both of these squads. And that's going to do it for both of these teams this weekend. But don't go anywhere, folks. We've got another game coming up here in just a little bit. A noon game. It's going to see Toronto Mixed Roller Derby versus the Chicago's Bruise Brothers. So don't go anywhere, folks. Another game coming up here at noon. So we'll see you guys then. All right, we got some MVP awards to give out here for this previous game. For Race City, your MVP is going to be Floppy Joe. Floppy Joe is going to be your Race City MVP. And for the Gatekeepers, Floppy Joe, you are the MVP. Yeah. And for the Gatekeepers, it's going to be Splatter. So you get some photos here. Also, we had some MVPs from the first 2 games that didn't get picked due to some miscommunication. So we're going to go ahead and hand those out here. For the first game, for the Beekeepers, it's Scarlett Davidson. And then for the Bruise Brothers, it was Truffle Shuffle. And then for game 2, for Y'all Holla, it was Wombo Combo. And for Race City, it was Razor. So Razor, you were MVP for game 2 on Friday. And then where's Scarlett at? I know Scarlett's around here somewhere. There's Scarlett. You were MVP for the first game of the weekend. What? Did I write? Okay, I wrote the wrong thing down. Hold on. Sorry about that. I had the wrong note for Chicago. Where was my note at? Let me find my notes. Here we go. Nope. Was Markomedes. Markomedes is our MVP for game 2.